I just wanted to make this little demonstration video of using a 2.5 pound cutter Mattock. This Mattock has the cutter head on one side and the Mattock cutter on the other side. I just want to show you how you can use this to remove small trees. That's the way I clear brush. I only leave a stump if it's a big tree I can't get out with this. But I can get this out, this little tan oak right here. This Lithocarpus densiflorus that's right here. I'm going to get it out, okay? This is the tree right here. And what you want to do is you want to get underneath the root ball and pop the main roots, especially the taproot. You don't want to cut it off because I don't want to leave a stump. I want to get the whole thing out, so I got to get underneath a little. Okay. Well, that came out easy enough. Usually I have to go around it and cut from different angles and bend it over. Sometimes you got to flex it over one way and then flex it over another, but this one popped out. I got the taproot. There's the root ball right there where the just came right out. Bay trees, the California bay laurel, that was this big, much more difficult to remove when they get bigger. This right here is a coffeeberry bush. Let's see if I can get it out. Manzanita. Three hits, got this coffeeberry bush out. I'd much rather swing a 2.5 pound Mattock than if I'm to work all day using this, it's a lot nicer. You just can't pry with it, you'll break it. Use it for cutting. A little manzanita. Sometimes the little manzanitas you can just rip them out with your bare hands. Whoops, that one broke off. And then there's honeysuckle that grows everywhere around here, and when you're working in the woods, I call it tripwire weed, because you trip on it. It's easy to trip on. It's everywhere in here. Little manzanitas. Oh. This right here is a California black oak. I don't really want to take it out, but it's growing in the way. I need to clear this open here, so shoot. This is one of my favorite trees. There's more of them growing in here. They're growing everywhere in these woods, but this one's too close to the edge of the road. Now what you're looking at right there is a whole bunch of coffeeberry bush that's just growing out of a big central trunk cortex about that big around. That would be real hard to get out. I mean, I could do it if I went around and around, It might take me like a half an hour. I'm gonna try pounding on it with the Mattock and see what I can do. I think I'll chip away at this thing. This honeysuckle gets wrapped around your legs and your feet when you're working. It's a good workout pulling it up though. Now sometimes what I'll do to get rid of a clump like that, it's so bushy in there, it's hard to get your body in there where you can swing and work. So what I do is I'll cut everything off about 3 feet off the ground, cut it off with the chainsaw, and then I still have enough of a trunk to leverage with. I don't need 6 feet of trunk on bushes that small. I don't need 6 feet tall trunks or 8 feet. 10 feet to get leverage. I just need 3 foot and I can leverage them when I'm ripping them out. Here's a big old honeysuckle. Stuff entangles everything, and it'll also choke out good trees. It'll grow up trees and wrap around them and mess them up. Baby trees, all kinds. I've seen it do it to baby Douglas firs where it just chokes them up. So I don't have much use for honeysuckle because I like my trees, especially Douglas firs, California black oaks, Oregon big leaf maple, which down here is also called California big leaf maple. There's some of those growing in this little forest. This toyon root ball goes down deep into the earth and it's big. And that's because a long time ago, when they put in this road, somebody cut it off flush with the ground. And then it just grew up with more suckers, and that's why there's so many leaders coming up, because that's all suckers that just developed into trunks. And what happens when you cut brush off just flush with the ground, it just makes a huge root ball under the ground, super hard to get rid of later. There's a lot of analogies you can apply to other areas of life with that concept. Just getting rid of something superficially actually makes it worse later on. Anyways, so somebody probably cut it off, and so that's why when you're clearing brush, it's better to get everything out by the roots, because when you just cut things off flush with the ground, it just creates a bigger problem later on. And then some people are like, well, I'll use poison. You're gonna have to use so much poison to kill. I sprayed Roundup in the old, I don't spray it anymore, I hate it. But I seen people, they spray Roundup and they're like, oh look, it killed it. Yeah, but you come back a year or two later, it's coming back alive again. Especially bay. Roundup won't kill bay.